just the weather alone, for a Swede, like it's January. Look at this. I'm looking forward to going home again, just to like be with the fam, be with the friends. But it's gonna be cool to show everyone else like kind of where I grew up, show my family in my house, and like how different the life I come from is than this. It's like you're not even on the same planet. It's like totally different lives, totally different places, everything. It's a story I've wanted to tell, and I've wanted to show that side of me and like where I come from and the life over there, my parents, my family, everyone that kind of made me who I am in a sense. I feel like just being in Sweden is gonna give you just a better understanding of who I really am. I remember the morning I walked outside, I got the mail, I laid in bed, I opened the envelope, I flipped my passport up and I see an American visa. I just put it down and I laid in bed and I was like, my life's about to change. Growing up in Sweden was very simple but easy, good life, I'd say. The more I've grown up, and especially now being around different people from different parts of the world and all that, I realize how fortunate I've been with the family I have as far as the support system and love and like allowing me to be me kind of like always. All right guys, this is the house back in Sweden. Let's go for a little tour. The difference from living in LA or the FaZe house in LA and living here is crazy. I still feel like I have two lives sometimes. Like fully just two different lives. Jacob here and Teeqo over there. Not that they're different people, there's not too much going on, and then you go to LA and there's like everything is going on. We have to do this, we're doing this. It's just like, it's a completely different life. I truly enjoy just coming home here, spending time with the fam, making my coffee, fireplace, hanging on the couch, and just spending quality family time. So this room over here is my old room. Like this is essentially where Teeqo started. Like this is where I made my first ever YouTube videos. There used to be a bed right here where I would sleep, obviously. I used to have the TV right here on a TV stand, and I would just sit on my bed and play Call of Duty right here.
He was a very sporty boy when he grew up. He was playing football, soccer we call it in America, and a lot of other sports too.
I was never good in school, but I did just what I had to do, and then I, allow myself free time to play video games or early days play soccer.
Jakob har aldrig tyckt om skolan precis jättemycket. Han gick ju dit där och hade mycket kompisar och så, men han har aldrig tyckt om att plugga så mycket.
I sat down with my friend and we were like, okay, we're gonna do this now. And we just sat down, we had 2 pieces of paper, a pen each, and we'd go, okay, let's find a name for ourselves. If we're gonna do this, we need to have a name, we need to brand ourselves. Like we already thought about that. I looked over to his list and he had Teeqo on his list. And I was like, yo, I kinda like that name. Do you mind if I have that? And he was like, no, that's all good. Because he didn't really like it. He wrote it down, but he didn't that was just one of the 20 names he had on his list. And I ended up taking it, and I've just been rocking with Teeqo ever since. This right here, it's my first ever school. Sometimes when I'm home, I'll pop in there and just say what's up to the kids. I had a little meetup there once. I don't know, it's just cool. Some of them know like about the stuff and probably want to pursue gaming as well and all that. So sometimes when I'm home, I try to make time and just come in here for a little bit, hang out, spend some time with the kids. Old picture, young Teeks, 7th grade, I think. Like 13, 14 years old maybe. Pretty similar, no? So I found out about FaZe Clan when Temper actually messaged me on YouTube. I still remember the inbox. This is when people actually used to inbox each other, like DMs on YouTube. So this is like 2010. I had racked up solo. I never joined any other teams than FaZe Clan. It's the only clan I've ever been in. I had 35, 40,000 subscribers, which was a lot back then, especially from someone who had never been in any teams. I was solo, just Teeqo, that's it. And Temper messaged me and said, yo, I really like what you're doing. You should add me on Skype. And that's how I looked into FaZe Clan. I'm like, yo, there's a full team doing this together. I remember speaking to my Swedish friends because I wasn't gonna join first, which probably sounds very crazy to people like, oh, you weren't gonna join FaZe? But to me, again, I've always done stuff by myself. I'm very, or used to be even more, like very independent, kind of solo dolo guy. I like to do stuff by myself. I was very confident just doing it by myself. I like being on my own schedule. So that was something I was thinking about a little bit, and I hesitated to join, but I spoke to a couple of my Swedish friends who kind of convinced me into joining FaZe. My first gaming headset. I remember saving money for this too. Turtle Beaches X11s, like 70 bucks. Big purchase for me. I felt like a boss putting on a pair of these. When I started making videos, it's not like now when it's like you can kind of tap into it and you can start making money. When I made videos, no money. No one made money. This is before YouTube had advertisements on their, like on YouTube as a platform. So I just made videos to make videos, and that was just as simple as. I never thought twice about making money, or definitely not turning into a career, and definitely not moving to the United States. This little front pitch is when I would just kick the ball every day and out on the streets. And then the car would come, go in with the ball, wait for the cars to pass, go back out, kick the ball. Every day, every day, every day. So yeah, here, I remember just seeing my dad coming in on his bike, and I was here the whole day just kind of waiting, and then we just go on my rollerblades, and wow, I hit it hard. I was bleeding from my face. I still have a scar down here on my chin. But that doesn't look too bad. But half of my front teeth were plastic. And every now and then, it happened when I was in a New York house. Some people might remember. I ate a nacho at Denny's at like 3 in the morning. I was like, wait, and I felt it was gone. Half the tooth was gone again. So every now and then, like every 3-4 years, I have to replace them because they just fall off. And I look crazy. Like, it looks so crazy. I actually quit in 2012. Some people might know this, maybe not everyone.
I didn't know this.
I quit in 2012 in a hotel room in United States, actually. I was on vacation in the US, and I just wanted a change. I was gonna make music, DJ, pursue that. I felt like I was done with making Call of Duty videos, and like, I was just bored. It wasn't something I wanted to do anymore. But in 2014, early 2014, and I cannot make this up. It's too crazy to make up. This is when I had not been in contact with anyone for like a year and a half. And when I mean not in contact, like I didn't even look at YouTube. I had no idea FaZe was blowing up. I had no idea people like Rain and Apex had like 1 million subscribers and getting hundreds of thousands of views, because that was like, no one really did that when I quit. It was still pretty much very small and all that. And I woke up one day from a dream, seriously, I woke up from a dream of me being in IKEA with Tommy and Banks, buying furniture, moving into a house with them. And this is when I swear, I haven't talked to them for over a year. And I had this dream. And I woke up the next day and I remembered it like vividly. And I thought about it. And I was like, why did I dream? Like, what? How did I just dream this? What is going on? And I tweeted Tommy, and Tommy's reply was, well, it's not a dream if it ends up happening. And that sparked something. It's like, I gotta start making YouTube videos again. I gotta start playing Call of Duty again. And I did. Fast forward 6 months to a year, I lived in the New York FaZe house. I feel like a lot of Swedish people are like they just think I signed some crazy deal and moved to the US and lived a life. Like, that didn't come till like just a few years ago.
Right. Yeah, you guys were
like, I was struggling the first, even year I lived there. When I first moved to New York, I had $1,400 in my account, and half of that went to the flight. And I had like $700-800 over 3 months.
When Jacob was moving to New York, we felt, it was mixed feelings. It could have went very wrong because 5-6 kids in that age living together, too much money, too much spare time and all that. But they were very professional, even at that young age, I think.
It was a lot of like 7-Eleven like noodles, 7-Eleven like the chili like those like where you just put it in the microwave. And I brought my laptop and Xbox from home. And luckily we got some equipment from a few companies, like keyboards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I slept on the couch downstairs because I could not afford a bed. This is cool. This is cool.
Dude, that's actually sick.
With the IKEA shirt too. That's like, I mean, it would have been dope to rock FaZe shirt, but it's kind of funny that I had an IKEA shirt that day. When I started making money, I couldn't get paid because I had a Swedish account, because I didn't have like a bank account in the US, because I didn't have a social security number. So I wasn't paid for 7 months of income till like a year after. And that was a struggle, because it was also like, even though I was good friends with everyone, like Rain, Apex and all them, I wasn't good enough friends to like ask people for money, and you know, like it was a little embarrassing too, because they were obviously doing very well.
Yeah.
And obviously they were super, like, if people know, you know, Rain and Apex and them, they're the nicest people. They will happily help you out. They will happily provide you with some money and stuff, especially back then too, when they were doing very, very, very well. But I never wanted to ask. There was a lot of times, I remember a few times when they were going out for like food and stuff, or to the movie theater, and I couldn't come. Like I legit couldn't afford like a $20 movie ticket.
After he blew up, it was kind of hard to grasp the whole thing. Like when he came home and everybody was asking for autographs, like in the coffee shop and stuff, it's like, it's just Jacob. What are you? No, it's Teeqo. So it was too different. It was hard to grasp really how quickly it blew up. His fame hasn't changed him at all, like not at all. And that's why it's so hard to see that there's two, one Jacob and one Teeqo, because he's still Jacob.
To me, it's very special when it happens in Sweden, or like when like kids here recognizes it and they want to like, and they get inspired, because that's like, you know, it's home. I come from a very small place, so it's cool to hopefully be able to inspire people to, you know, not that this is bad, but you can make it out, you can make it big, you can, you know what I'm saying? Just because you come from Sweden or a small place doesn't mean that you can't pursue what you want to do, pretty much.